Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing a news and stuff video. So while these are some of my favorite videos to film, they definitely burned me out, and I think that they're partially responsible for why I took such a long YouTube break, because they're just so much work. And all of you guys are so sweet and always thank me so much when I post them, so I do very much appreciate that. But instead of doing a long comprehensive catch-up, because I believe the last news video that I did was probably in November, I'm just going to be highlighting some of the things that have been announced that I'm most excited for. Some of them might be some bits of older news, but they're things that we haven't talked about yet, and then other things are things that were announced as recently as an hour ago from the time of filming. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I think I'm going to take a more casual approach to news videos in the future. I think I'm gonna try to maybe focus on a little bit less and go a little bit more into depth about certain things. So let me know how you feel about that, and we'll see how this goes. So first up, I will start with book box spoilers like I did in the past. This is really going to be the only section of the video that is organized because obviously if you don't want to get spoiled, I don't want to be the one to spoil you. But I didn't separate out like cover reveals from special editions from adaptation news or anything. I'm just kind of talking in order about things that are exciting to me. But right now we're going to talk book boxes. I will also just preface this section by saying that I feel like book boxes have kind of gotten out of control lately, and I am going to be reducing the number of subscriptions that I have to book boxes because it almost feels like gambling in a way, because you're like banking on enjoying this book that's new that you haven't read yet. And a lot of times the books end up being pretty mediocre. Sometimes there is that hidden gem that is an all-time favorite. That is so exciting when that happens, but I would say more often than not, it's just not something that you need that kind of edition of. There's also just an overwhelming number of choices now when it comes to special editions. And I actually feel like this is a subject that I might do an entire video on as an avid special edition collector. I think it's really interesting to examine the way that the special edition industry has kind of like evolved over the past couple of years. So that's in the pipeline. But anyway, I've so many tangents already. I haven't even said anything. So again, these are book box spoilers. So if you don't want to know, go ahead and skip this section, and also know that these are best guesses. There's always the chance that I am incorrect, but this is pretty likely what's coming. So first is Broken Binding, and this one is 100% definite because the Broken Binding announces which series they are doing for their subscription. So their next sub from April to June is the Gentleman Bastard series, with the first book being The Lies of Locke Lamora. I, for one, am pretty excited about this. I think this is one of the most exciting series that they've done in their sub in a little while, and I'm really excited to see the additions that they come up with. A lot of people are a little bit upset that this isn't a completed series, and Broken Binding has been known to do completed backlist, usually trilogies, but they have said that they will do matching editions to future books in the series once they are released, so that's promising. And from what I understand, these can be read as standalones, so it's not too big of a deal. And again, I'm pretty excited for these. I can't wait to see the customizations on them. Then the Fairy Loot March book is A Feather So Black by Lyra Celine. I believe this is a fairy kind of book, and it's being published by Orbit. I actually really like the UK cover like a lot better than the US cover, so I'm really excited to see what Fairy Loot does with this one. Then the March Fairy Loot book for young adult is Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. This is actually one that I'm going to be skipping. I just don't feel like I'm going to love it the way that would justify owning a special edition of it. I might borrow it from the library at some point, but I have so many other books that I'm really excited to read. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful, and those who get it are gonna love it, but I'm not connecting with YA fantasy as much as I used to, and I'm trying to put into practice not having too many books that I need to get rid of. So that's where my head is at with this. Then for Fairy Loot, for their adult book, it sounds like they're going to be doing Evocation by S.T. Gibson, which is so exciting. They have never done a book that's published by Angry Robot, as far as I am aware. So that's really cool that they are now going to a new publisher. It also gives me hope that they might do that Peter Pan book in the future at some point. I think that could be really cool, but I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be really good. I think the original cover is so gorgeous, and I'm sure that Fairy Loot is just going to make it even more even more gorgeous. And then the Fairy Loot Romantasy sub is supposed to begin in April, and they already released the first like real teaser of what the book is going to be. It seems like it's going to be Lore of the Wilds, and I am so excited for this one. This one is a cottagecore fantasy romance, and I've been really excited for this since the day that it was announced. I've actually followed this author on Instagram for so long, like even before I knew that she was an author. I just really liked her Instagram. So I'm pretty excited about this one. For Illumicrate, their March book is Fathom Folk by Eliza Chan. I was initially so excited for this book. It does, because it sounds like it would be really good, but unfortunately it's gotten like pretty mediocre early reviews. And I decided to skip it because I haven't seen anyone that has like loved it. And I don't think that bodes well. And then the Illumicrate April book is To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods by Molly X. Chang. And this one I am really excited for. This is another one where I actually really love the cover already. And this is a guest based on emoji hints. They give emoji hints for their April, May, and June books. So this is what I've come up with. Then this is a little bit of older news, but I just wanted to talk about it anyway. Golans did the most beautiful editions in the entire world of Name of the Wind and Wise Man's Fear. They are like, I've never seen anything more beautiful. And you guys know how much I love Name of the Wind. You have seen my Name of the Wind collection. I have quite a few Name of the Wind books on my shelf, but sadly I did not get my hands on these, which is just devastating. Like, I am so obsessed with these. The end papers on these are like, they're so good. The sprayed pages are beautiful. The spines are beautiful. The naked hardcovers are like literally everything about them. They're just so beautiful, and they don't ship to the US. I was on the website the second that they were released and they were like, nope, we don't ship to your country. And I thought that I was going to have someone that was going to be able to get them for me, but it ended up falling through. So I didn't get them. And like, I'm just going to be sad for the rest of my life. I'm going to be scouring secondhand sellers forever, but I know that it's going to be like an exorbitant price. So I'll just have to figure out like when I'm most weak that I will give in. However, another Name of the Wind edition is that Grim Oak Press is coming out with an illustrated edition of Name of the Wind. It's really, really beautiful. This one is currently up for pre-order. It's still in stock, so this one you are able to get if you also missed out on the Golans ones like I did. There are two versions. So there is a full color illustrated version and there's also a black and white version. The black and white version I think is $150 and the full color one is $300. So it obviously is like a pretty big price difference, but I opted for the full color one as this is one of my favorite series. I am really excited for it. I mean, it is obviously pretty expensive, but it is acid-free paper. It's Smithsonian binding. The cover, I would say, is actually pretty similar to the cover of the German edition of Name of the Wind, which I do own. The dust jacket's going to be foil embossed, which is going to be gorgeous. There's also going to be gold foil stamping on the spine and the front board of the book. It has 10 high gloss full color illustrations, and it's also double signed by Patrick Rothfuss and Mark Simonetti, who is the artist. And this one is limited to 1,500 copies, but again, last time that I checked, it was still in stock. So if you are interested, go forth. Next, I just want to talk about the Words of Radiance Kickstarter, which is happening really soon. I'm so excited for this to happen. I have obviously the Brandon Sanderson leather bounds behind me. They are the most prominent books on my bookshelf because they're just my favorite, and I can't wait to add Words of Radiance, which is my favorite Brandon Sanderson book, to my shelves. They already released a mock-up of what they're going to look like. The Kickstarter for these launch on March 5th, and they've also been releasing a series of videos leading up to the release of the Kickstarter. I will be on there the second that it goes live. Not that there's worry about these selling out because they're crowdfunded and they're going to produce as many for as many of the backers that there are. But I'm just so excited. And Brandon Sanderson also announced a new picture book that he's going to be doing with the artist Kazu Kibushi, who did the Amulet graphic novel series, if you're familiar with that. They're really, really beautiful. This is obviously not a medium that I read pretty much ever, but as it is Brandon Sanderson, I will be checking out this book. It's called The Most Boring Book Ever, and it looks like it's going to be really cute. I think it's fun that he's doing something a little bit different. And this one's coming out on September 24th. Then, huge news, Fairy Loot is finally going to be doing special editions of Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I just feel like I have been waiting for this day for years. I'm so excited. I think everyone is so excited. I cannot even imagine what it's going to be like waiting in that queue of that nightmare queue on their website the day of the release. But they're going to be releasing the series in 2 parts. So the first half of the series will be put up for pre-order in April, and that will include The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Heir of Fire, which is the first 4 books in the series, and then the second 4 books will be released in the future at a later date. Right now, we are coming toward the end of February, so I imagine that it won't be too long until we get a glimpse at some of the customizations, some of the covers, and just the design of these books, because we've only gotten a graphic that it's coming, but we literally don't know anything about what it's going to look like yet. But Fairy Loot, I believe that they will do justice for this series. Fairy Loot is also releasing a special edition of Howl's Moving Castle by Diane Wynne Jones, and I'm so excited for this one. I really love Howl's Moving Castle is my favorite Studio Ghibli film, and I also really enjoyed the book, which is super different. So if you haven't read it, I highly recommend doing so. And they also announced that they will be doing the rest of the books in the series, because there are, I believe it's 2 more books. I think it's a trilogy, which I haven't read. I've only read the first book, so I should probably go back and complete that. But I think the design is really beautiful. I love the pastel dream scheme that they have going on. I think it's so, so gorgeous. And then the naked hardback basically just reminds me of the Disneyland castle, because we've got this beautiful pale pink board and then blue foiling, and it's so pretty. I really hope that they stocked up for this one. I can foresee this selling out in seconds. Next, LitJoy Crate released their edition of Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. These are so beautiful. I think LitJoy has done some of the most beautiful special editions in recent years. They are their quality is so good, and I'm so excited to receive these. They're up for pre-order right now. They're not sold out, so you can go and grab one. I think the way that they do rewards points also is just I don't fully understand how they work, but I always feel like I save so much anytime that I buy a book from them. It's probably because I got the Six of Crows duology and the Shadow and Bone trilogy, but when I went to check out for this one, I somehow was able to take $75 off of my order, which was really awesome. But these are so cool because they actually have metal insets in each of the covers, which is something that I've never seen done before in special editions. I think it's just so cool. I imagine that these are going to be super, super heavy, and I'm so curious to know what the slip case of the box set is going to look like. I think, again, they did such a great job with Six of Crows and also Folk of the Air that, man, I just can't wait. And they're fully annotated by Rochelle Mead, which is so much fun. So this will definitely be the way that I'm going to be rereading them. The first book is signed by Rochelle too, and then it also includes the 5 short stories set within the world of Vampire Academy. So just all around really, really hyped for these books. Next is a mixed bag of emotion, and that is that Shannon Messenger has announced that she will be coming out with a new book in November of this year. However, it is not book 10 in the Keeper of the Lost City series. It is book 9.5. And I was kind of devastated when I heard this because I'm caught up on the series. I've just been waiting for that ending book. Last year, she did not come out with a book, and I was like, surely this is going to be the year. But she said that while she was writing, she realized that there was a very important piece of the story that needed to be told, and that's why she's writing a 0.5 book. It is from the perspective of one of my favorite characters in the series, but I'm still pretty upset. I much rather would have gotten the final book. Anyway. Next, the Broken Binding announced that they will finally be doing the midnight editions of the Dandelion Dynasty series by Ken Liu. These have been so highly anticipated by so many people. They have had a wait list since I want to say like a year and a half ago, and I definitely signed up for it when it was released, but as so much time has passed, they've created a new waitlist, so you can sign up for that if you are interested. I believe it was sent out to people who subscribe to their newsletter, and they have said that the new versions will be the same customizations, however, it will be in a different color scheme, and I'm really hoping that I'll like the color scheme as much as the original one, because that like light pink is not something that you really see very often. But yeah, I haven't read these yet. I really, really want to. I strongly suspect that I would love them, so I will be springing for them. Alexa and I are going to try to read the first book, The Grace of Kings, before the editions go on sale. That is best case scenario. Don't know if I'll actually be able to do that, but that is my intent. Next, we got covers for the rest of the revised books in the Bone Season series by Samantha Shannon. So for The Mime Order, The Song Rising, and The Mask Falling, these are all so beautiful. Again, this is one where I have not yet read the first book, so I'm planning on doing that, and the Broken Binding has already announced that they will be doing matching editions for their Bone Season edition, so ideally I need to read that one before they release the rest of them. No word yet on the Broken Binding ones, but we got the traditional covers released and they are just gorgeous. Next, LitJoy has also announced that they're going to be doing special editions of the Fablehaven series by Brandon Mull, which is really fun. Like, this is a series that is a little bit older. It's a middle grade series. It's extremely beloved, and I've never seen anyone do a special edition of it. So I'm really excited. Like, I feel like they've had some like unexpected choices, and I think that they're really good choices. So I'm definitely going to be getting this. I read the first one and really liked it, but I haven't read the rest of the series. They're actually going to be releasing each book individually, with the first one releasing in March. And literally, like, right before I started filming this video, I checked my email and they released a mock-up of what the first book is going to look like. It's so pretty. I think that this is a really stunning edition. And again, like, LitJoy has just done such a great job with their books, and I'm so excited to add these to my shelves too. Next up, Orbit is releasing a special edition of the Wilderwood duology by Hannah Witten. This is For the Wolf and gosh, what's the second book called? For the Throne, maybe? I think these are really pretty, and I really like that traditional publishers are getting in on the special edition game, because that also makes them just more accessible for people who aren't able to get them from some of the other companies, whether it's because of the release times being during working hours or whatever, but I think these are really, really beautiful. This box set was delayed, so it will be now releasing in June, but you can pre-order it already. I've never read these, so I don't have any personal feelings on the series, but I do think that these are just really stunning. Then Walker Books revealed the design for the next book in the Mortal Instruments series, which is City of Glass. They've been doing special anniversary editions of the Mortal Instruments for a couple of years now, and this next book, which is the third book, comes out on July 4th. This can just be purchased from any UK retailer. It's not available in the US, but if you are looking to grab a copy, I'm probably going to grab one from Blackwell's. Then a pre-order that I'm really excited for is Waterstones has a really beautiful special edition of Medea I just wrote by Rosie, that's helpful, by Rosie Hewlett. This is a Greek myth retelling about Medea, who is a witch from Greek mythology. I'm so excited to read this one, and I really love the sprayed pages. I think this is going to be a really lovely addition to my Greek mythology shelf. And also in the same vein, I pre-ordered a copy of Hera by Jennifer Saint, which is her next Greek myth retelling. This one obviously is following Hera. Pretty excited for it, really love the cover. I think the UK covers on these are so much better than the US covers, and I also appreciate that they always have foiling on their dust jackets, so that's why I opted for the UK version. I think I also ordered mine from Waterstones, and it's going to be signed. Then I'm so excited that ML Rio, author of If We Were Villains, is finally coming out with another book. She has not come out with a novel since 2017. She did release a short story in These Hollowed Halls, which was the Dark Academia anthology that came out last fall. However, not a full-length novel, so I've been eagerly awaiting her next book, and the time has finally come. This one is called The Graveyard Shift, and it follows a ragtag group of night shift workers who meet in a local cemetery to uncover what Secrets Are Hiding Within This Grave. This one's coming out September 24th, and it is announcements like these that is exactly why I do 2 most anticipated lists for the year and split them up. We always get fall book announcements early on in the year, and I hate not having them included in my most anticipated list. So my next list will be coming in June, and you can bet that this book is going to be on it. We also got a cover reveal for The Doors of Midnight by R.R. Verde. I showed the new cover of this in my recent fantasy list video, but I'll share it again here since that was not a news video, so that might not have been your thing. I think this is so beautiful. I love the artwork on these, and this series has been compared to Name of the Wind. So I haven't actually read the first book yet. It's pretty long, definitely a chunker. But now with the second book coming out, I'm definitely more motivated to pick it up, and I just think these are beautiful. And the second book is coming on August 13th. Then we got the UK cover reveal for Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. We did also get the US cover, which is fine, but the UK cover is awesome. I just think it is like so far superior to the US cover. And while I am a little bit hesitant about this because I did not enjoy A Study in Drowning, I do really love Macbeth, and this will be an adult fantasy, so I have high hopes that I could love this one. Then just yesterday we got cover reveals for Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This is her next standalone novel set within the world of Kingdom of the Wicked, so we're following a different one of the princes from hell, and we got lots of covers. So first up we got original US cover, which I don't think is anything special. Then we got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which I think is really beautiful. I love the blue on this. I don't love the cover design overall, but I do really love the pastel blue, and I think that's going to look very nice with the pastel pink of Throne of the Fallen. Then we also got the UK cover reveal, which, if memory serves, is kind of similar to the US cover. And then we also got the Waterstones special edition, and again, pretty similar, but it does have blue sprayed pages. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do here, and I'm certain that Fairy Loot will do an edition too, but no news on that just yet. Then Stephanie Garber revealed her newest book, Spectacular, which is a novella set within the world of Caraval, and this is basically going to be a Christmas episode kind of story. I think it's going to be pretty similar to like Mysteries of Thorn Manor or A Court of Frost and Starlight if you've read either of those. So it's going to be revisiting some beloved characters and hopefully just seeing them thrive with low stakes, kind of cozy fantasy, happy holiday vibes. Fairy Loot is likely going to be doing a special edition of this. There is a regular edition, and then Barnes & Noble also has an exclusive edition, and it's all like within Christmas colors, which is really pretty. And they're also going to be releasing a special edition box set of the Caraval series, and I think that they're all going to have white covers and probably be pretty similar in design to this cover of Spectacular. And this one's coming out on October 22nd. Then Fairy Loot revealed their special edition of Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvie Catherall. I've been really excited for this one since it first popped on my radar. It sounds really fun. It has like an underwater fantasy world, and I believe it is a fantasy romance, and there is a romance, like a pen pal romance in the story. But I think it's a really beautiful design, really gorgeous, and I'm probably going to be picking this one up. Then Lilac Library, which is a smaller business that I found on Instagram, is releasing their dust jacket for The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. I have the first 2 dust jackets from her. They're really gorgeous, and I'm really excited to pick up the last one. They're actually going on sale for pre-order at the end of February, so very soon. And you'll have the option of purchasing all 3 dust jackets together if you haven't gotten any of them yet, or you can just singularly buy the dust jacket for the last book. It was also announced that there is a deluxe edition coming of Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is a really pretty hardcover edition. It has glitter on the hardcover. It has really beautiful end papers that continue on to digitally sprayed pages, and the hardback has gold foiling of one of the most popular quotes from the series, which is something along the lines of I feel overwhelmed that you exist. And I believe this one is coming on October 1st. Okay, then this was announced back in December, but it's not something that I've seen talked about very much since because it was just title reveals. So Cassandra Clare actually revealed the titles for all 3 books in the Wicked Power series, which is really exciting. I'm pretty sure that she revealed them at one of her release events during Swordcatcher. Book 1 is The Last King of Fairy. Book 2 is The Last Prince of Hell. And book 3 is The Last Shadowhunter. And I do believe this is the final series that she's writing set within the Shadowhunter world. So it feels pretty fitting that all of them have last in the title. It feels very final. I'm really excited. There's no release date yet for any of them, but she said that news would be coming in 2024. So we should be finding out theoretically, I would think sometime soon. I would be surprised if there wasn't one releasing in fall. And then 2 bits of Taylor Swift news. So if you guys haven't seen me, my friend Alexa from Alexa Loves Books, and her husband Mackie have been doing deep dives into Taylor Swift's musical history. It's been really fun. We're doing live shows for them. They do tend to be on the longer side because we have a lot to say. Anyway, there is a new Taylor Swift book coming out called Taylor Swift Styled. And this is actually an Instagram account that I follow. It kind of deep dives into the fashion that Taylor has worn, and the book is going to dissect every era of outfits. And I really love the cover. I think that she picked a beautiful dress, and it's coming out on October 8th. And I definitely pre-ordered this one already. Pretty excited for it. So if you're also a Taylor Swift fan, you might want to check that out. And then lastly, the Taylor Swift Eras Tour is coming to Disney Plus on March 15th, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch this one again. Watched it in theaters, I rented it and watched it at home, and now I'll be able to watch it without having to pay $20 to do so. So that is super exciting. And there's also going to be 4 new acoustic songs included and Taylor singing Cardigan, which is pretty exciting. All right, so those are all of the news items that I wanted to discuss today. Let me know if you found anything new, and I will, talk to you guys soon in a new video. Bye.